James Martell here. WebmasterRadio.fm has something that every affiliate marketer should be buzzing about. Introducing the WebmasterRadio.fm mobile app, now available in the iTunes Store or on Google Play. Listen to our live stream at your leisure and download episodes of the Affiliate Buzz, plus sample episodes of great affiliate marketing shows like Affiliate Marketing Today and Affiliate Marketing Insider. For affiliate marketing news and information you can use right on your smartphone, download the WebmasterRadio.fm mobile app for iTunes and Google Play now.
WebmasterRadio.fm proudly presents the longest-running program on affiliate marketing. Welcome to Affiliate Buzz. Our hosts, James and Arlene Martell, are here to inspire, inform, and motivate you with expert insight, interviews, and information that will increase your bottom line. Advance your affiliate marketing efforts every week on Affiliate Buzz. Now, please welcome James and Arlene.
Hi, it's James Martell here, and welcome to another edition of the Affiliate Buzz. It's great to have you with us. Yes, I am here with Arlene, my wife and co-host, and today we're going to have some fun. We are celebrating 10 years of Affiliate Buzz, and it's hard to believe, Arlene, that it's been 10 years, if you can believe it, since we actually recorded the first sessions of the Affiliate Buzz.
Yeah, it's unbelievable that 10 years has gone by so fast. I know we've gotten some really great comments over the years about the Buzz, and I think it's been a huge success. So congratulations to you, James, for doing that for 10 years now.
Well, thank you so much, and I'd like to actually give some kudos to some people who had, a big deal to do with getting it started early on, shortly. And I'd like to talk a little bit about the history of how the Buzz came together. It of course isn't the very first podcast, but it's definitely one of the first podcasts that was ever launched, and it has a very interesting story, I think, of how it came together. It wasn't my idea. It was an idea of Charles Johnston. And I thought it was a very clever little idea way back then, and I think listeners will get a kick out of it, and especially for those that may be thinking of doing a podcast of your own. I do know that podcasting is really coming into its own these days, with literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of shows available, maybe even into the millions online. If you look through the various podcast directories, they just go on and on and on. So I think it'd be fun to talk about the early days. But before we do that, we are heading into the Christmas break coming up here, and you and I, we've also had, thanks to the affiliate marketing business and the internet over the years, we've had a chance to travel a lot. And you've done something that I think others might want to adopt. It was a great idea. I don't know where you came up with it. Maybe you could share that as well. But the idea is every time we go somewhere, you collect Christmas ornaments.
Yes, I do.
Do you remember where you got that idea?
You know what? It was way back when, I remember distinctly when we went on a trip to California, into the redwoods there, and Shelby was just a baby, and it was a trip we went on. And I picked up a little tree ornament from the hotel that we were staying at. And I remember after that thinking, geez, every time we travel, I should pick up a little ornament, because then every year when I put my tree up, it's so amazing to me because there's hundreds of ornaments on the tree now, and many of them were collected from places that we visited in our travels. And they remind me that every time I put the tree up, every time I put that ornament up, it brings me right back to that place where we were. So it's an incredible tree to me and full of wonderful, wonderful memories of the places we've been.
It is. It's truly amazing. You can walk around the Christmas tree, and there's literally every branch has a couple ornaments on it, and every single one of them is from a great little trip. And I know as well that you got the kids doing it. Yeah. Justin and Shelby and Adam and Victoria. And now that Shelby's moved out and has her own place, you packed up all her ornaments and you gave them to her, and she now has them on her tree. Yeah. And you did that last year or the year before, and then this year you did the same for Justin.
Right. So, that's the other thing I did is collected ornaments for the kids over the years that were kind of meaningful to them. Like Justin was in baseball for years, so we had like really cool little baseball ornaments. Or if we'd go to Seattle, we'd get something special from a Mariners game that related to baseball. Victoria was into soccer, and Shelby was into ballet, and there's all of these activities that the kids were into. And Victoria liked that movie Eloise at the Plaza. So when you and I went to New York one year, we made a special point of going to the Plaza Hotel and picking up an ornament of Eloise at the Plaza, and that was very cool. So that's still on our tree. And when Victoria moves out one day, she's going to have a whole little box full of ornaments that she can take with her. That'll be reminders of her childhood too. That are really cool.
Do you have any of them handy there? Can you see any of them?
Yeah. Yep, I actually was looking at the tree. We've got, just recently, last year, we went to Austin, Texas, so I got this little star that resembles Austin, Texas. We've got lots of from Maui, because we've been to Maui many times. Santa in sandals playing a ukulele, and all kinds of really pretty, waterfall ornaments and stuff from Maui. Disney World, we went to Disney World. We've got ornaments from the Kennedy Space Center. We've got trolley cars from San Francisco. We've got a snowflake from Leavenworth, which was a historic town we visited. When we stayed at the Paris Hotel in Las Vegas, I picked up this really cool, it looks like a French loaf in its own little bag. And every time I look at that, French loaf reminds me of the Paris Hotel. We went to the Crystal Cathedral when we went to Disneyland one year, and we picked up an ornament from there. It's just beautiful. Lots and lots of Disney characters. We're kind of big Disney fans in this house, and we actually bought a series of Christmas ornaments from the Disney collection. So we have like every character, and they're all on our tree, and those are beautiful. They're all individually boxed, and they're quite beautiful. Santa Barbara, we bought quite a few ornaments from there, like our little globes with sand in them, and they have little like shells in them and stuff from the sea. Santa Barbara is just beautiful. I love that place. We have one from the Navy Pier in Chicago. We have one from San Diego, from Arizona. You also brought back, this is one of the earlier ones. I can see it's a snowflake all made out of salt from the Salt Lake in Salt Lake City. And it's a really fragile, but it's the most beautiful ornament, and it comes in its own little case, and I'm very careful to put it in a place where the kids can't touch it. That one's really cool. Down to our trips to Seattle, and like I said, lots of kid-related things. So there's lots of trains on our tree, because Adam is a huge train fan, and every time we go and visit a train park, and like even this summer when Adam and I went away, we went, just the two of us, took a trip together and we stayed at the Three Valley Gap Hotel in Revelstoke and did our train tour, and we picked up tree ornaments from that as well.
And now I do know that you're also starting to do the same thing for our little granddaughter, Brooke. Yeah.
So this year we used that salt dough, and we pressed their hands into the salt. We had one for Maya and one for Brooke, and we pressed their little hands into the salt dough, and then you make it looks like a Santa face. It's the cutest little thing. It's all painted and glazed, and it's their permanent handprint that'll stay on the tree, and it's perfect to remind us how tiny they are, and I know as they grow they'll appreciate that.
It's such a great little tradition that you started, and it's amazing to see all the ornaments on the tree. And I do know affiliates have a tendency to love to travel. So if you happen to be out and about, hitting Vegas, and I'm sure you've got some Las Vegas ornaments there.
Yep.
I know you mentioned the Paris, and I think there's a couple other ones there as well, if I recall.
Yeah.
That it's so much fun going around the tree and putting it up, and even then passing it on to the kids. Even though you gave a box to Shelby and a box to Justin, our tree is still loaded with ornaments. So it's just a great little tradition that you started, and I got to thank you for that, because it's a very special thing that you've done.
Thank you.
So now, before I can see we're coming up against the break here, but before we go to the break, we're going to talk about the early days of the Affiliate Buzz when we get back. We basically kicked it off as a little bit of a kernel of an idea in towards the end of 2002, and it was basically an outgrowth from the Affiliate Marketer's Handbook. So I think, Arlene, after the break, it'll be fun to talk about the early days, go back 10 years, talk about the handbook, talk about where the buzz came from, talk about the people that were involved in help putting it together, and then talk about how we recorded it, and then we'll fast forward it to today, to where we are as far as podcasting these days, because back then the word didn't even exist. It was something that was a brand new brainchild of Charles, and I got to thank him, and I have thanked him many times for coming up with the idea, because it's something that I really enjoy doing, and it's just done so well for us as well. So we'll talk about that and a whole bunch more right after the break.
More Affiliate Buzz coming up after we hear from our sponsors.
Oh yeah, my day is done. Time for happy hour.
You're already done for the day?
Yeah, because I use CertifiedKnowledge.org. Their PPC tools literally save me hours every day.
How do you keep on top of all of Google's new features?
Easy. With Certified Knowledge, their interactive learning modules keep me up to date. And if there's something I don't know, I can watch their video lessons without having to hunt around the Google Help files.
Great. I'm ready to expand my knowledge.
Hi, I'm Brett Geddes. I'm the only leader officially supported by Google to teach the advanced.
Looking for a white label SEO and social platform for your clients? Think
eBrands.
Free and unlimited SEO audit reports.
eBrands.
Premium Facebook apps and welcome page creators.
eBrands.
Twitter management app, analytics, and mobile site generators.
eBrands.
Let eBrands manage your search and social media campaigns and give you and your clients access to their white label dashboard, which have great reports that will wow your clients and deliver great ROI and results. Try eBrands for 30 days. Go to eBrandsWithAZ.com or call 1-866-625-5717. That's eBrands with a Z for
eBrands.
How much time do you spend on SEO research and competitor analysis? What if we told you that there was an easier, faster way? Searchmetrics SEO software propels you to top positions on search engines around the world with our unique global search, social, and competitive data in over 60 countries. Gain a competitive advantage today with Searchmetrics.com. That's Searchmetrics.com.
Webmasterradio.fm. Get addicted. Get ahead.
Time now to hear some more Affiliate Buzz on webmasterradio.fm. Here's James and Arlene.
Yes, I'm here with Arlene, and today we're talking about, actually we're going to talk about podcasting. We have been talking about Christmas ornaments, but Arlene, let's get into talking about the early days of the Affiliate Buzz. Of course, it grew out of the handbook, the Affiliate Marketer's Handbook, the 2002 edition, which actually grew out of, and you'll remember this era, in 2001 when we were holding the training classes in New Westminster.
Right. Yeah, we did the training classes live, and I know that you were just getting swamped with questions and people wanting to know what you did, and so then you turned it into the handbook.
Exactly, and that would have been around November of 2001. If we backtrack even a little bit more, it would have been around, I guess, the spring of 2001 when we were starting to get friends and family asking us, what are you doing? What is this internet thing? We know you're making some great money with it, and we would show them what we were doing, just in the same way Sean Bouchard showed me early on when I first discovered this, when he first shared affiliate marketing with me. We had done the same for friends about, 18 months later. I guess it was, early spring or maybe even winter of 2001 when we started to actually have people over at the house. And we're excited about it. We're making great money. And it was like just a fun, brand new thing, this internet. And we were really, just getting going at it. And we decided, because there were so many people that were interested in it, to put together a little weekly training class in New Westminster, which is about 30 minutes out of downtown Vancouver. And everybody would come in on the Wednesday nights, if you recall, Arlene, and then also on the Saturday mornings. And we had the big projector up and the PowerPoint, and we would just take people through the what we knew at the time about building websites. And that was great. And that, though, as you said, started to get really, really busy, and we didn't have a lot of time anymore for a lot of things. And even our affiliate marketing business was starting to get pushed aside a little bit because we were dealing with everyone. And we decided to put together a training, and we decided to put together what was initially called an ebook, and it was one of the very first ones around, and that was fun to do. We thought it would take a couple of months to put together. I was working with Charles Johnson, who was the editor at the time, who was very, very instrumental in pulling the information out of me and then helping to put it down on the page and make sure it read properly, and we spent months working on that, to whereas finally, if you recall, it wasn't until May when we finally got it launched, because it was just so complicated to actually sell something like that online back then.
Yeah, I mean, it was really just it was ahead of its time for sure, but it was a great book, and it was a great way to teach other people affiliate marketing.
And out of that, and that book did eventually take off. It didn't launch really fast. It actually kind of failed for about the first 6 months. There wasn't really a lot of people buying it. We had a sale here and a sale there. And quite frankly, I was beginning to wonder if we'd wasted 6 months and a lot of money to put this book together, because it was difficult to get it online. There was no such thing really as a digital download delivery system like we have today to deliver up ebooks and audios and any type of digital file. It was very hard to find one. We ended up finding a guy in Florida who actually helped us with that and got it online, but it took a couple of months just technically to make everything work. But we got that away, and then finally, after, and if you'll recall this, we were heading down to, we were on a 3-week road trip with the kids, probably picking up some Christmas ornaments. And on the way back across the border, we get a phone call from Charles. He was absolutely swamped with book sales. And the book at the time was $167, which the few people that were selling ebooks at the time told me, you're absolutely insane. Nobody's going to pay that for a digital ebook. Meanwhile, when Alan Gardine, Michael Campbell, and Phil Wiley each wrote a review about the book, sales just took off.
Yeah.
And I think the first day we did something like 78 sales, and it was just amazing. It just gave me goosebumps, actually, too. I even say that. And the thing, and you remember, it just took off. And then all of a sudden, within a few months, we're starting to get inundated with emails and people just having questions, and they want to know a little bit about this and a little bit about that. And there was just no way that we could handle this one-on-one. And that's where Charles came up with the idea to do a twice-monthly audio newsletter, which he called the Affiliate Buzz.
Interesting. And it's still called the Affiliate Buzz today.
It's still called the Affiliate Buzz today. And essentially it was interesting because it was a very cumbersome, like the book, it was very complicated to do this back then. Today, to put an audio together is no big deal at all. Back then, I recall, basically the process was that you would we would want to publish the show on the 1st and the 15th of each month, and we never missed it for over 7 years until we came to Webmaster Radio, where it's now once a week. But back then it was twice monthly. It was on the 1st and the 15th of each month. And the way it would be produced is a couple of days before the buzz needed to go out, we'd get a hold of Dennis Bernicki, who worked for us, handling the tech support at the time and the customer service for the book, the handbook and the buzz. And we'd say, Dennis, okay, we want to do a buzz on Thursday at 1 p.m. And then he'd have to get on the phone to our conference calling company and arrange a live operator to meet us on the line at 1 o'clock on the Thursday. We'd come on, she'd be there, and then away we would go. And she would record the show manually. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of the show, we would part ways, say goodbye, and then Dennis would have to call into her. She would arrange the file, upload it to their FTP server, and then download it. And then from there, he had to actually add the intro and the outro to the show, do a little bit of editing from time to time, and then he had to create a low-speed and a high-speed streaming version, and then also a downloadable version. Because if you remember, back in 2003, there was no or I shouldn't say there was no high-speed. High-speed was very, very sparse. There wasn't a lot of high-speed. It was just kind of coming in. And the other thing was there was no MP3s. There was no podcasts. There was no MP3 players. There was none of these little devices we all take for granted now. There were no smartphones to play it in. There was no way to stream it through the net because there wasn't enough bandwidth. So we literally had to create 3 versions of each show, a low-speed streaming version, a high-speed streaming version, and then a downloadable version. And if you remember, everybody would listen to the Buzz on something like Real Player,
right,
or Windows Media Player, where today it's a whole different ballgame. So it was a lot of work. It was absolutely a lot of work to get that done. Even doing things like getting the intro and outro recorded to find a professional voice talent. We ended up going with Charles, who's got a great voice, and he did the intro and outro because there was no Elance. There was no place we could go post a project. There was no audio jungle where we could just go spend $14 and buy some great intro music and outro music. You were working basically with Hollywood style production studios in the area that thought nothing of charging a couple $100 an hour. Right. So it was definitely ahead of its time. So it was great to be part of the beginnings of it. And funny enough, I actually pulled up, and maybe we can get Brasco to include a link in the show notes with Webmaster Radio here. I pulled up the first edition and the second edition of the Buzz because they're still online. Everything's archived, so it's still there. And, what I'd like to do, because we actually recorded these in a bit of a sequence, and we recorded one of them from Maui, and there's a kind of a funny story that goes along with all of that. So why don't we do this? Why don't we take a break, and then we'll get back, we'll continue on with the story, and we'll talk about how Affiliate Buzz number 1 was recorded, where it was recorded, Affiliate Buzz number 2, and then how it took us 6 months to actually figure out a way to get these audios online so people could actually download or stream them to listen to them. So let's talk about that, Arlene, when we get back, and we'll be right back.
More Affiliate Buzz coming up after we hear from our sponsors.
Johnson, what's this Mantis I keep hearing about? Do we need to call an exterminator?
No, sir. Moby Mantis is our new SMS marketing tool.
SM what?
SMS, text messaging. Moby Mantis lets us communicate directly with our customers in real time. We can send promos, coupons. It even lets our customers market for us by sharing offers with their friends online. It's been great for business.
Sounds expensive.
Actually, I signed us up for an extended free trial. It hasn't cost us a dime.
Good work, Johnson. I guess the only thing we'll be exterminating is the competition.
To get your free extended trial of Moby Mantis, text radio to 21691. That's radio to 21691 for Moby Mantis.
Building better search engine rankings takes the right formula. Tracking those rankings is super simple. All you need is authoritylabs.com. Authority Labs uses automated daily rank tracking tools to monitor your site's performance, or leverage their API to build your own tools. No matter what animal-labeled algorithms affect your ranking, you should be using Authority Labs. Unlimited users for no additional cost and white labeling can help keep your clients updated and save countless hours of creating reports. Whether you're running sites with just a few or millions of keywords, what you need is authoritylabs.com.
Do you look at the task of ranking your site at the top of the search engines like you would climbing the top of Mount Everest? It doesn't have to be. TopSEOs.com knows how hard that climb can be, and they can make top ranking a reality. Top SEOs sends you to only the right search vendors and agencies that they know will work for you. Since 2002, TopSEOs.com has reviewed and researched the best search engine marketing agencies and solutions providers. Don't risk the cost of falling off the proverbial peak of search rankings. Let Top SEOs give you peace of mind. TopSEOs.com, the independent authority on...
Open your windows for a breath of fresh air. Webmasterradio.fm.
And hey, Mac, we're here for you too.
Webmasterradio.fm. We're everywhere.
Time now to hear some more Affiliate Buzz on Webmasterradio.fm. Here's James and Arlene.
Yes, I'm here with Arlene, and we're talking about the early days of podcasting as far as it relates to the Affiliate Buzz. Now, Arlene, you weren't really a part of the Buzz too much back then because Charles and I were doing the recording, and Dennis was handling all the post-production and uploading as we discussed, and then the show would come live. But you did from time to time come on as a guest. I don't know if you recall that. And I do even recall one time getting the kids on, Victoria on the line specifically, but the others as well. And we talked to them about a trip to that we just returned from Disneyland. So for the Martel family, I got to say, it's a real treat for us, and for me especially, because it's very archival. Really, our entire affiliate marketing business for 10 years has been documented twice a month, and for the last 2.5, maybe 3 years, 4 times a month. And for those that are thinking of putting together a podcast, you may want to consider it from that perspective as well. It does really have a great way to archive things. Now, Arlene, let's talk about the first couple of editions. The first one we just did from home before we actually headed off to Maui, and that's Affiliate Buzz number 1. We actually recorded 6 shows in December of 2002. We decided we were going to do 6 in a row, and then we'd get them published, and then we would do another 6. Eventually, we discovered very quickly that wasn't the way to do it, and we decided to do one show at a time after the first initial 6, just because information was needed to be more current than it could be recording 6 back to back. But the second show we actually recorded in Maui. Do you remember that?
I do remember. And I remember that on that trip, we had Victoria with us. And I remember getting her on the line, too. And I think it'll be pretty funny to go back and listen to that. And she's a young woman now, but she was a little kid then. And,
actually, you know what? What? You're mixing up a couple of trips here.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, you are. That's another Maui trip than when Victoria was 9.
Oh, okay.
So if we go back 10 years ago,
she would have been 7.
She would have been 7. So this would have been in December of 2002. It was just you and I. And if you recall, this was our very first vacation, thanks to affiliate marketing. After 15 years, with the kids, we didn't have a real vacation together ever during those 15 years. And this is the first time you and I actually had a chance to, relax, kick back, headed over to Maui. No kids. We rented a little Sebring convertible. And we had a beautiful little hotel room at the Lahaina Shores overlooking the ocean. And I remember beautiful views. We're on the 3rd floor, I believe. Palm trees right in front of us. You look through at night. I remember waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning one night, walking out onto the patio, and there's a cruise ship sitting out on the ocean, on the Pacific Ocean, the big moon shining on the ocean. You got the waves lapping at the beach. You got the palm trees rustling. It was just amazing. And that's when we recorded the second version of the Affiliate Buzz. And we had to coordinate all of this from Maui to Dennis in Montreal. Charles was somewhere else at the time. We're in Maui. And keep in mind, there was no Skype. There was all the stuff that we kind of take for granted now. There was none of this. So we had to get on the phone, paying major long-distance charges back in 2002 compared to today, where it's basically free. And then he had to coordinate the operator with Charles. We had to get the recording done. And then that's how that came together. So, but I remember sitting in the hotel room doing it, and you were out. You actually stepped out onto the patio, sat down, and just relaxed while we did that show. Did you remember any of that?
Just briefly, I do remember a bit of it.
So I think what we can do here, for those that are interested in taking a look back, I think you'll get a kick out of them if you have a chance to listen to Affiliate Buzz number 1 and Affiliate Buzz number 2, because they were pretty funny, I must say. We were getting started. We didn't really have much to say. Charles was very good right out of the bat. I didn't say much. He'd ask me a question. I give him a 1-word answer, maybe 2 or 3 words if he was lucky. And so he just had to pull information out of me like crazy. So then once that was all done, once we had all of the shows recorded, the reason the first Buzz got published on June 15th, a full 6 months later, and the second one on July 1st, and then from there was the 15th, the 1st, the 15th, and the 1st ongoing. Because, again, it was just technically challenging. We just didn't know how to do it. We wanted to put together a little membership area for handbook owners where they could subscribe and go in. The Affiliate Buzz for the first 7 years of its life was $10 a month subscription. and we had to protect it in a members area. And back then, there was no membership software like we see today with Wishlist Member or, S2 Member. Those types of platforms didn't exist, and quite frankly, neither did WordPress. So we were basically left to the devices of building out this in front page, and just kind of piecing it all together in such a way that it actually worked. And it did work, and it still works today. And today, though, Arlene, thanks to Webmaster Radio, I must say, and Brasco and Brandy and Darren at the other end there, who take such good care of us, we now just have to show up with our headsets on time, on Skype, and then everything magically happens after that, doesn't it?
It's awesome. Yeah, it's wonderful.
It is so wonderful. So all of those intermediary steps that we talked about, with the operator having to get involved and Dennis having to schedule the call and us having to record it over the phone and then download it via FTP and then manually add the intro and the outro and then upload the 3 different versions of it, and then add it to the members area, and all the little bits and pieces that needed to be done are now just handled so nicely for us. So we appreciate the gang at Webmaster Radio for taking such good care of us. And we really appreciate the listeners who've stuck with us over the years. We get calls and emails all the time from Buzz listeners, and keep them coming. We appreciate it so much. And Arlene, I know you get a lot of people at the help desk that have commented over the years, so and I know you appreciate it as well.
I certainly do. I get lots of great emails, and I really do love interacting with the people, and I do appreciate all the great comments about the Buzz.
Arlene, I can see we are out of time. Listeners can follow me at James Martell on Twitter. New episodes of the Affiliate Buzz can be heard every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern and 2 p.m. Pacific. You can access the archives for our previous shows on webmasterradio.fm, jamesmartell.com, and on iTunes. Arlene, thanks so much. And to our listeners, thanks for listening to another edition of the Affiliate Buzz.
This has been a presentation of WebmasterRadio.fm, the world's largest business-to-business radio and podcast network. We welcome you to sample past episodes of this program, as well as our complete library of programs, on demand or on the air via our 24/7 live audio stream at www.webmasterradio.fm. The opinions expressed on this program are those of the guests and hosts and do not necessarily reflect those of WebmasterRadio.fm's management or sponsors. Any rebroadcast or redistribution without authorized consent of WebmasterRadio.fm is prohibited.